Hey everybody, my name's Jason Yoder. Welcome to all of you joining us for the first time, and if this isn't your first time, it's great to see you again. So I decided to get out of the house tonight and kind of build on an episode I did, I think you guys saw it a few weeks ago, on photo stacking. Now I'll be honest with you, the photo stacking, the end image wasn't all that great. We had basically a very dreary day, not a lot of great lighting, so I thought I'd give it a try again tonight. So my wife and I found this area which is almost completely void of people, and yeah, just thought I'd come back out here tonight, try and get some dramatic drone shots, and also see if we can recreate a better photo stack.
I can be with you wherever, stay at home or in a foreign land. I can stay like this forever, 'cause I got the world in my hand.
So what I decided to do was choose a little bit more of an interesting subject. So down here I've got a small cactus with some red flowers on it and a saguaro here in the background. It's being side lit by the setting sun. And I hope we can get this photo stack in and then get a little higher up so maybe we can capture the sunset. So let's get started here. I'm going to go ahead and set the camera nice and low and we're going to see what we can capture here. Alright, got the focus in. Now, going to have to set it to manual because I need every exposure to be identical, and that also means setting that white balance. So we are on a sunny day. White balance has been set. Sampling manual here. Get it, there we go. The image. All right, got it. So I'm developing one of the 4 images that we're going to be using in this focus stack. You only need to do it to one of the 4, and then we're going to copy those settings across to all 4 of those images so they're all developed identically. So here we're just going to turn up the contrast a little bit. I'm going to try and slightly increase the sharpness by bringing down just a little bit the clarity and increasing the texture. And I'm just looking around to see if there's any artifacts that were created when I did this. We're going to slightly increase the vibrance just a little bit. Alright, now I'm trying to play around just a little bit with the luminance and the saturation of just specific colors. I'm interested in trying to bring out the blue background just a little bit more, the blue sky, but also I'm interested in the green colors of the foreground elements, the plants and the saguaro cactus that's in the background. So again, I'm just individually playing around with the different color channels. Now I'm just going to do a quick little check here for spot removal. I can see that in the sky there are no spots for me to be worried about. So we're going to sync all of the image settings, and this allows the image, all 4 images to be the same. Next, we're going to be editing these images in Photoshop. You want to make sure you open them in Photoshop as layers. Now with all the layers open, we're going to select all of those layers and we're going to try and align the layers. Now remember, when we did our photo stacking, as you change focal distance, the image zooms in and out just a little bit, and this is going to help compensate for that. Truth be told, we could wait till the end of this process here in Photoshop because we're going to have to do this again, but I'm doing this to show you that the images are going to have a slightly different size to them. So after aligning these images, we do have to go through very carefully and see if any of them shrunk. And this is because the image breathes as you change the focal distance. Now, we don't have to do this step right now. We can wait till the end because we will have to do it again. Right now, there's not a whole lot, but we're only looking at the top image. Alright, next thing we need to do is discover which layer has our up close in focus image. Looks like it's the top image because as I turn the other ones off, you could see that the foreground gets blurry. As I turn them back on again, make them visible, you could see it's sharp. So this is the image that we're going to start off with when it comes to doing our masking. We're going to select a layer mask and we're going to edit that layer mask. I'm going to choose my brush tool and give it a fairly good size brush so we can make this a little quicker. Now, when you paint on this, black means transparent, white means opaque. So what we're doing is we're painting black onto the layer mask, and that's going to reveal the next layer that's behind this current layer. So what we want to do is we want to try and find the areas where the blur starts and paint over those areas to reveal the clearer image that's behind it. And you see, as we get closer to the foreground, I'm being just a little bit more careful, so that I only get those areas that are not completely in focus. Alright, now that that layer is done, we move to the next layer. We give it a layer mask. And then we locate in the second layer by moving up where it's blurry, and we start painting there. And now for the third layer. This is the last layer that gets a layer mask. Again, we're going to zoom in, find where it's blurry, and I can see that plant is in focus, but the saguaro cactus, not so much. So, and also that background. So what we're going to do is we need to make sure that we paint over the other elements, but we don't want to paint over that plant because it was in focus. So very carefully, I am painting over the areas that are blurred, but I'm being careful not to touch that little plant. Again, its leaves, particularly ones closer to the bottom, are already in focus. We're going to go ahead and finish off the rest of the image before we get a little bit more detailed. Alright, now for this plant, I'm going to go ahead and shrink my brush size down. And that's going to allow me to get closer to this plant. So around its leaves I can paint, and I can get the rocks behind it a little bit more clear. And as for that gap between the branches, I have to shrink my brush size down just a little bit more so I can paint in there and make it clear. Alright, now during that process we revealed that some of the image had shrunk from the layers that were focused farther back. So once again we're going to go through with our cropping tool, and you can see a lot of it was at the top because of the angle of the camera. Where we need to crop in, we're going to explore all four of the corners just to see if we need to do any cropping. Here we need to do just a little bit more on the right hand side. And there we go. The image has been cropped, and it has also been focus stacked. Zooming in, I have a nice focus saguaro cactus. Okay, so now it's time to take it back to Lightroom. The easiest way to do this is simply push Ctrl W, which closes Photoshop, and it gives you the option to reopen the new image in Lightroom. Now when Lightroom opens up, it's going to automatically highlight the image we just brought in. What I like to do is right mouse click it, give it a color label. You can see here I gave it the color label of green, which makes it stand out from the other images that were used to create this focus stacked image, so I don't accidentally choose the wrong one later on. Now zooming in on this just to confirm it, I can see that the foreground is in focus. As I continue to scroll up, I can see that the background stays in focus, so this was the correct image that we imported in from Photoshop. Now what I can do is I can do any final little settings, final little development that I need to do here in Lightroom, and we will have our finished product. There you go. I'm going to give it just a little post cropping vignetting, and we are done. Well, since I'm already out here tonight, I guess I'll go ahead, put my drone up, capture some beautiful Sonoran Desert stock footage. I'm also going to pull out my camera and try and capture another beautiful sunset. Thank you everybody for tuning in and watching. Make sure you click that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up. I'm already making some plans to head overseas in anticipation of the world opening back up later this year. Make sure you tune in and join me as I continue my travel and photography adventures.